Madlad number 1. John Lafitte was a French privateer / pirate in the Gulf of Mexico in the early 19th century, who had a very wild career. But I just want to thank our sponsor for this video, Raid Shadow Legends. Raid is a visually stunning free-to-play mobile fantasy RPG with hundreds of champions from 16 different playable factions, with a fully voiced and immersive storyline. I want to show you guys some of my gameplay real quick. As you can see, I've unlocked a pretty big variety of powerful and unique characters here, but let's just hop into a battle. As you can see here, each of my characters have several different and unique moves they can use. And again, this just feels comparable to any console RPG. The graphics on this game are honestly just visually stunning, and the best I've personally seen from a mobile game. Right now, the highly anticipated Battle Pass is on. Season 1 is live, and you can win awesome rewards including free energy, refills, gems, upgraded artifact sets, and new epic and legendary champions by fulfilling daily and weekly challenges. Use the link in the description to start with 50k silver and a free epic champion on day 7 of the new player rewards program. John Lafitte started out with him and his brother smuggling goods in and out of New Orleans, but they also started getting into privateering. And him and his brother's operation eventually expanded to 3 ships, which he claimed was the largest privately owned corsair fleet in the world. For several months, the Lafayettes would send the ships directly to New Orleans with legal cargo and would take out ongoing provisions in the city. The crew would then create a manifest that listed not the provisions that had been purchased, but smuggled contraband goods stored at Barataria Island. Uninterested in exports from New Orleans, custom agents rarely checked the accuracy of the manifest. The ships would then sail to the mouth of the Bayou La Fourche, load the contraband goods, and sail legally back to New Orleans, with goods listed on a certified manifest. When the War of 1812 broke out, another opportunity presented itself for the brothers Lafayette. See, the US, having a smaller navy compared to Britain, issued letters of marque to lots of smugglers, which basically gave them permission to go raid British shipping to their heart's content. But many of these smugglers would also get letters from the British and then raid American shipping at the same time. So they would turn in the booty captured from the British in New Orleans to American authorities, then sail out to Lafayette's operation in Barataria and sell the remaining booty. But many times, privateers would just sell all of their booty, including the legally obtained stuff at Barataria Island. So when word got to customs authorities of this, it pissed them off since it reduced their revenues. So November 10th, 1812, United States District Attorney John R. Grimes charged Lafayette with violation of the revenue law and sent 40 soldiers to capture him, his brother, and 25 other smugglers. So did Lafayette come with a brilliant plan to escape jail? No, they all just posted bail and refused to show up for the trial. He basically spent the next few months continuing his illegal activity around New Orleans. Finally, the governor, getting fed up with this, put out a $500 bounty on Lafayette's head. So what does the Mad Lad Lafayette do? Sends his men into New Orleans with posters, putting an even larger bounty on the governor's head. His Barataria base is eventually raided by the government, again, and he is thrown back in jail. So what does he do? Calls in a favor from Andrew effing Jackson, who's able to get him pardoned on the condition that he fight in the defense of New Orleans, as a British attack was imminent, and well, they actually ended up winning. He went on to go pirating some more, but ended up dying from wounds in the battle. Mad Lad number 2. Giuseppe Garibaldi was this Italian guy in 1800s Italy who thought it was really dumb that Italy was divided into a bunch of small states and not one big nation. He was serving in the Kingdom of Sardinia Piedmont's navy, and he, along with some other sailors, got rowdy as a part of a movement to turn the nation into a republic. But these got put down pretty quickly, so he fled to South America. He puts around for a while with some separatist rebels in Brazil, but then they got defeated. So he pops on down to Uruguay, where he tried to live a normal life, but then was like, screw it, and with some other Italians, formed his famous Red Shirt Legion, and joined the Uruguayans in the war against Argentina. When that was over, they ended up going back to Italy to fight in the Italian War of Independence against the Austrians. But none of the Italian leaders wanted him, so he fought his own private war, which failed, so they fled back to Switzerland. But in 1848, the Pope got kicked out of Rome by liberal forces, and Garibaldi, seeing an opportunity, joined the revolution. But Napoleon, no, his nephew, got wind of this and sent an army to crush the revolution. So once again, Garibaldi fled with several thousand men. So a few years after that, he tells King Victor Emmanuel of Sardinia Piedmont that he wants to go invade Sicily and Naples. The king is like, no, we really don't have the strength to do that. But then Garibaldi is like, fine, I'll just do it myself. He's only able to gather about 1,000 men, and against literally everyone's advice, sails for Sicily. He gets to Sicily and is basically able to sweet talk the Sicilians into joining him with minimal fighting. His army size swelled, and he crossed the Strait of Messina, and then steamrolled what was left of the Neapolitan army. He gave up all the territory though to the king of Sardinia Piedmont, and what does he get in return? Basically just a pat on the back, since the king feared that he was more popular than him. With Italy being nearly unified, Victor Emmanuel still would not attack the Papal States, since he did not want to start war with France. But that once again did not stop Garibaldi, who tried and failed twice to invade them, which was actually the last action he ever really saw. Madlad number 3. Caligula was a Roman emperor from the years 37 to 41. Now, Caligula was more of a mad lad in the sense that he was legitimately a lad who was mad. He was known to kill random courtiers for the fun of it, and would sleep with men's wives, then go bragging to them the next day about that. I guess he also really did not like goats, because he made it a capital offense to even mention them in his presence. Caligula also thought himself a god and required people to refer to him as such. He even had 2 temples built, dedicated to him, where he would make public appearances as a god. He also got in a feud with the Senate at one point, and then killed a bunch of senators he did not like. The dude also really liked his horse, and gave it its own mansion, and planned to make it a high consul. Of course, many in Rome really did not like this guy, and well, the straw that broke the camel's back was when he declared he was moving to Egypt as a part of the whole "I'm a god" thing. The prospect of Rome losing its emperor and thus its political power was the final straw for many. Such a move would have left both the Senate and the Praetorian Guard powerless to stop Caligula's insane stuff. So the Praetorian Guard was just like, screw it, and murdered him. Also, if you think that the emperor's own guard murdering him is weird, well, that stuff is like really common in Roman history. And once again, thanks to our sponsor Raid Shadow Legends. Use the link in the description to start with 50k silver and a free epic champion on day 7 of the new player rewards program. Special thanks to patrons Skylar Weston, Ben Hughes, Zy Mandez, and Helipilot.